Chapter 12, Biodiversity, Preserving Landscapes. Based on our analysis of biome impacts in previous chapters, forests and grasslands were very human-dominated. What are the threats to those biomes and what steps have been taken to conserve them? We will discuss these issues in this chapter. As we will see later on in the course, natural systems provide many benefits and services to humans. These include water and air purification, resources such as wood and paper, and help control things like flooding. Because grasslands and forests cover such large areas of Earth, it is important we understand issues related to both. A map of major forest types. Most people in developed countries are cognizant of the scope and effects of deforestation. However, the majority of forests are harvested to provide heat for basic necessities, like cooking, heating water, and heating homes. This deforestation is obviously related to poverty and access to other resources. While fuel wood harvests account for 50% of the global use of wood, other causes of consumption include wood pulp for paper and wood for construction. Those activities are done mostly to support more affluent countries such as the U.S. The implication is that even while developed countries champion for less deforestation, they are at least indirectly responsible for deforestation through our high levels of consumption. To keep up with this high demand, these countries tend to cut down natural forests and replace them with single-species forests, which produce more wood specific to the demand. All of these issues have led to deforestation across the globe. Successful reforestation programs do exist in China, Korea, and Japan. Causes for deforestation. Conversion of forest to agriculture. This accounts for 2/3 of destruction in Africa. Conversion to cattle ranching and soy farming is most common in Latin America. Large-scale commercial logging. Building roads to remove trees allows entry to forests by farmers, miners, hunters. Fires destroy 350 million hectares of forest per year. Many of these are set intentionally to clear land for other uses. A photo of rainforests burning in Brazil. Causes for deforestation. Biofuel production is responsible for forest destruction in Southeast Asia. Oil palm plantations produce oil for cooking, industrial use, and biodiesel production. While forests are often impacted due to timber harvest, grasslands are often impacted due to conversion of native grass prairies into farmlands. This farming use can be from crop production or grazing. Many areas used for grazing are often overgrazed, which can lead to conversion of the grassland into deserts. This process is called desertification. The rate of desertification is increasing as more and more areas are overgrazed. This overgrazing is a classic example of the tragedy of the commons, which we will discuss later in the course. Needless to say, grasslands in the U.S. are often overgrazed due to little disincentive to do so. 75% of rangelands in the world are degraded. 1/3 of that is due to overgrazing. 55% of U.S. public rangelands are in poor or very poor condition. Grazing fees charged for use of public lands are below market value and represent a hidden subsidy to ranchers. Ranchers claim that without a viable ranch economy, Western lands would be further subdivided. A graph of rangeland soil degradation. Through the actions of John Muir, the U.S. has a history of setting aside areas of land as national parks and preserves. Other countries also have set aside land for parks and preserves. For example, Germany has set aside large areas of the Black Forest for protection. While less developed countries have also set aside parks and preserves, many do not have the money or resources to actually manage the parks. Because of this, many are parks in name only, with many experiencing heavy impacts from illegal activities. These include mining, oil extraction, grazing, and many other activities. Ironically enough, in the U.S., one of the biggest threats to our parks and preserves is overuse. People appreciate the beauty and aesthetics of the parks so much, they visit them in numbers that cannot be effectively supported. Preserves are not safe from exploitation due to excessive stock grazing, dam building, oil drilling, mining, logging, coral reefs damaged by dynamite fishing, hunting. Eggs from endangered sea turtles are taken by hunters. Overuse by the public. Overuse of national parks in U.S. Entertainment trumped nature protection. Fire suppression resulted in large fires. Traffic congestion. Surrounding areas clear-cut or mined. Air pollution and smog. Parks are profitable but do not get to keep the money they generate. A photo of visitors at Yellowstone in Peak Geyser Basin. One approach taken by many less developed countries is ecotourism. Ecotourism is a way to preserve parks and biological sensitive areas by encouraging people to visit the parks to experience a natural environment. This is important because the ecosystems with the greatest threats are often those found in the poorest countries. Ecotourism allows the country to make money while preserving their environment. An illustration of a model biosphere reserve. While many countries have set aside parks and preserves, it hasn't been until recently that thought has been put into the design of the preserves. Oftentimes, parks and preserves are set aside based on political instead of ecological concerns. This has often led to parks that, while they look nice, may not actually support the diversity of an undisturbed biome. One question related to preserves is the issue of size and the effect of the edge. How regular is the shape of the preserve? Does the size and shape of the preserve matter? Based on current research, most ecologists agree that a single large preserve is better than many smaller preserves of the same overall size. This is because larger preserves have less edge per area and therefore have more core habitat left compared to smaller preserves. The science that studies this edge versus size effect is landscape ecology. This branch of ecology studies the relationship among spatial patterns and the processes that affect the survival of species and therefore diversity in the area. A photo of a small habitat. How small can a habitat be?